The Bold and the Beautiful B&B. Spoilers recap for Wednesday, October 9, reveals that Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, turned down Beth Spencer's, Jordan Gracie, pizza offer since he felt like he was intruding on her family time with Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, and Hope Logan, Annika Noel. Liam insisted the more, the merrier, but Carter still thought it was best if he took off. When Carter said he was going to check inventory, Beth asked if she could tag along. That gave Liam a chance to speak with Hope alone, so they reflected on Beth being their miracle child. However, Liam felt that Beth was also a living, breathing testament to everything they'd been through together. After Liam reflected on the most painful challenge being what happened in Catalina, he flashed back to breaking the news that Beth didn't make it. Hope pointed out that Liam also gave her updates on Beth surviving after all, so there was a flashback of that as well. Liam asked if Hope ever thought about all the obstacles and wondered whether they really went through so much just to end up apart. That left Hope speechless and looking uncomfortable. At the Forrester mansion on Wednesday's B&B episode, Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, visited Eric Forrester, John McCook, and talked about the friendship she was hoping to build with Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Buddick. Eric asked if that could really happen since both Brooke and Taylor felt the same way about Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K. Brooke acknowledged that they may never be BFFs, but she still hoped for peace since they were putting their families first. In the Forrester CEO office, Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline Messineswood, could tell Ridge was distracted and wondered if this had something to do with Taylor. After Steffi expressed concern about Taylor starting her practice back up in Los Angeles, she said it felt like a distraction. Steffi wasn't sure Taylor's heart was really in it and pushed Ridge to spill if her ma had shared any secrets. Ridge kept quiet about Taylor's diagnosis and faced Steffi's questions about why her parents weren't together. After Ridge suggested Steffi already knew the answer, he assured her that Taylor was important to him and always would be. Steffi hoped Taylor would stay in LA, but she feared it might be hard for her to see Ridge and Brooke as a couple. After Steffi said it felt like Taylor had been walking around with a broken heart for years, Ridge acknowledged that she definitely had her fair share of heartache. As Brooke appeared and eavesdropped, Steffi talked about Taylor needing support. Although Steffi wasn't trying to put Ridge in between Brooke and Taylor, she insisted her mom needed Ridge more than ever. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Taylor's broken heart syndrome shocker will spread to Steffi sooner or later, so we'll bring you more predictions on the drama that'll unleash. CDL's where you want to be for sizzling Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, predictions, updates, and news, so drop by regularly for more B&B info. Long-buried feelings took center stage as the characters grappled with their complicated pasts and uncertain futures. The episode began with a seemingly lighthearted moment, but as is often the case in the world of B&B, it wasn't long before deep emotional undercurrents resurfaced. At the beginning of the episode, Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, found himself in an awkward position during a visit to the Spencer household. Hope Logan, Annika Noel, and Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, were spending time together with their daughter, Beth Spencer, Jordan Gracie, when Beth offered to share her pizza with Carter. Despite Liam's insistence that the more, the merrier, Carter felt like an intruder on their family time. His unease was palpable, and it reflected the broader tension that's been hanging in the air for weeks. He politely declined and opted to check inventory elsewhere, wanting to give Hope and Liam some space. However, young Beth, ever the sweet and innocent child, asked if she could tag along with Carter. This request created a moment of levity, but it also served as an opening for Liam and Hope to be alone, an opportunity for them to address the unresolved issues lingering between them. Once Carter and Beth left, Liam seized the moment to reminisce with Hope about their shared history, particularly their journey to becoming parents. They spoke about Beth being their miracle child, a symbol of hope and resilience after the devastating series of events that nearly tore them apart. As Liam opened up, he couldn't help but reflect on their most painful experience, the loss of Beth on Catalina Island. Flashbacks transported the audience to the harrowing moment when Liam had to break the devastating news to hope that their newborn daughter had died. It was a time when their world shattered, and the couple seemed to be at the brink of losing everything. Liam, however, didn't stop there. He also reminded Hope of the moment when they discovered the truth, that Beth was alive and had been stolen from them, only to be returned in a shocking twist of fate. The juxtaposition of those flashbacks, from the agony of losing Beth to the relief of finding her again, captured the emotional roller coaster the two had endured. As Liam gazed at Hope, he asked the question that had been weighing on his mind. "Do you ever wonder if we went through all of that just to end up apart?" His words were filled with longing and a tinge of regret, leaving Hope speechless and visibly uncomfortable. The tension between them was palpable, a reminder that their love, though deeply tested, might still have a chance to be rekindled. Meanwhile, at the Forrester mansion, Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, paid a visit to her former husband, Eric Forrester, John McCook. Their conversation took a surprising turn as Brooke expressed a desire to build a friendship with Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Buddig. Given their long and storied rivalry, primarily over their mutual love for Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kaye, the idea of peace between the two women seemed almost impossible. Eric, ever the realist, questioned whether such a friendship could ever truly blossom, considering both women were still emotionally entangled with Ridge. Brooke acknowledged the complications but insisted that she wanted to make peace, especially for the sake of their families. Both women, she argued, had been through enough and deserved to find some common ground. Brooke's remarks highlighted her growing maturity and desire to put family first, though it was clear even to Eric that there were limits to this newfound civility. While Brooke hoped for peace, the unresolved tension between her and Taylor over Ridge remained a thorn in the side of any potential friendship. At the Forrester Creations CEO office, Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline Messinswood, was feeling the weight of her family's fractured relationships. She noticed that her father, Ridge, seemed distracted and suspected that Taylor's recent return to Los Angeles was the cause. Steffi, always protective of her mother, voiced her concerns that Taylor's heart wasn't fully in her work. Instead, she believed that her mother was struggling emotionally, weighed down by her past with Ridge and the ongoing presence of Brooke in his life. Steffi pressed Ridge to open up about what was really going on with Taylor. Although Ridge tried to remain stoic, it was clear that Taylor's emotional state was a source of worry for him. He reassured Steffi that Taylor was, and always would be, important to him, but he stopped short of revealing the full truth. As their conversation progressed, Steffi expressed her fear that Taylor had been walking around with a broken heart for years. She noted that her mother seemed perpetually wounded by her past relationship with Ridge and the unresolved feelings that still lingered between them. Ridge didn't deny Steffi's observations, but instead confirmed that Taylor had indeed endured more than her fair share of heartache over the years. It was a vulnerable moment for both Ridge and Steffi, as father and daughter acknowledged the emotional toll that their complicated family dynamics had taken on Taylor. Just as they were in the middle of this heartfelt discussion, Brooke arrived and overheard Steffi's plea. Eavesdropping from outside the office, Brooke listened as Steffi insisted that Taylor needed Ridge's support more than ever. Although Steffi wasn't trying to drive a wedge between Brooke and Ridge, she couldn't hide her belief that Ridge's presence in Taylor's life was essential to her healing. The emotional weight of this conversation left Brooke feeling conflicted as she stood there listening to the woman who had long been her rival plead for help on her mother's behalf.